Welcome you now tune into Let's Talk About It, Coach's Edition, and we got a lot of guests on this edition. Before we get into it, we're gonna introduce everybody, and we're waiting on Triple B. He said he got some technical issues, so we got Coach Mike. Raise your hand, Coach. He's
What up? What
hailing
up?
all the way
Good morning.
from from Georgia, sitting in the car right now, tuned in, locked to the job. Then we got Coach Kendall Gibson. We got Coach Briscoe, right?
Rashad, yeah.
Rashad. Sorry about it. And then we got OG, Triple OG. You okay over there, Triple OG? You keep on flashing in and out. You good? OG, you good? You hear us, OG?
Breaking up.
Yeah, you hear us?
Yeah, I'm good now.
Okay. Okay, so you know what I'm saying? We still gonna wait on Triple B, but college football, man, that is gonna be the topic after we get into Southwest Florida Jags. Man, last night I didn't think what happened to Clemson was gonna happen, but it happened. And Coach Gibson, we were talking in the behind the scenes, and you were saying that. Go ahead and give it
Yeah,
to him.
I was saying, Dabo kind of gave the guys fuel, man. When Saban can come into these big games, he's just worried about getting his players focused. But and with these kids, you say anything crazy, they take that fuel and run with it. So I think he gave them extra ammo that they probably didn't need to put on their backs. But yeah, man, Dabo should have kept quiet on that one.
Coach
Right.
Mike.
And also, they had a little more fuel from last year, because if you look at the game from last year, Clemson should not have won the game last year. Justin Fields just threw that last minute interception, but they should have not have won the game last year. Ohio State should have been playing LSU last year.
Yeah. OG, what's your take is? Because you look like you itching.
No, I mean, honestly, like I said before, I'm the last one that's going to support Ohio State at all. But I used to, I used to have a lot of love for Dabo, and he used, being humble and bringing Clemson back to where he took that program and brought it to somewhere it's supposed to be. But the way he's conducted himself, as far as the things he said, I don't know. It had me supporting O State last night. I can understand why things worked out the way it did. I feel like he got served humble pie, and he needed that humble pie.
Exactly.
I didn't have a problem with it.
Right.
Definitely. Now, right now we have two coaches online right now, Coach Gibson and Coach Rashid. You guys started an organization, Southwest Florida Jags, but not only do you guys have an organization, semi-pro, you guys also coach high school football here. So I'm gonna start with you first, Coach Gibson, and then tell us your brief mission statement on the reason why you guys are doing what you're doing. Promote your program a little bit, man. You know what I'm saying? Let us know where we can find you, all that good stuff, and then Coach will let you talk out there.
So my biggest thing, and there's my personal reasons for starting the organization. I feel like obviously the obvious reason is talent in the area, and you want to help the guys out, give them extra film and get them out of here, keep them out of trouble. But my biggest thing with starting this program is, everybody don't go to college. Everybody don't go to school. And that guys just don't. School's not for everybody. So, and then imagine being in a system where you're in school 12 years and you just, like, after you get done graduated, like, you don't have a plan. And then I feel like the system just throws you out and it's like, figure it out. And my whole thing with this is, we want to help the kids in that, kind of in that age bracket where, where they don't know what to do after school. And, if you go back and you do your research and stats like me and Coach Briscoe have done, a lot of people get in trouble around that age from, 18 to 24. They have no idea. And they get in trouble when they kind of steer the wrong way. It's not, and sometimes it's not their fault. They just you always had a team, or you always had teachers, you always had people pushing you, or you can go to these guys and then they just throw you there, and you just don't have nothing to fall back on, and you don't have the coaches on you anymore, and you kind of go a bad way sometimes. So that was my thought process behind it, helping the kids in the area, helping the guys, and just give them hope. Don't just we can help them transition into the world. Just being mentors and coaches, and even like you can ask some of the guys on the teams now. They all like we always say, it's more than football. So a lot of our conversations go beyond that. Like we don't talk about football all the time, but if they have questions about, hey, what should I do here? What should I do there? It's guys that's been there, that's been to college, and that's been in this real world, that's worked multiple jobs, that can give them that advice. And I just feel like that's needed in this society and in this generation, man. It's like you just throw the kids out after high school because everybody don't go to college. Everybody don't have it figured out. And that was just my thought process behind it.
Okay. All right, that's nice. So now you guys start February. When's the first game?
February.
Is it a home game?
Yes, sir.
Home game. Okay, nice. So, Coach Bronson, I'm gonna let you go ahead and get in with your take. Reason why you joined forces with Coach Gibson. You know what I'm saying, to get this program started.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Hold on, Coach. Got it. Yeah, Coach, my bad.
No, you're good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, honestly, cutting straight to the point for me, and Kendall and I have talked about this a lot. Him and I are blessed. Him and I had an opportunity that a lot of guys didn't have, an opportunity to go play, obviously, Pop Warner football, have the opportunity to play in college, have the opportunity to play minor league ourselves, and then have an opportunity to play pro arena ball. But the way that you build your community, to me, in my mind, in my eyes, the way you build your community isn't by one person making it out. It's by that person that does make it out, or the person that does make those opportunities become a reality in their life, then turning around and giving the same opportunity back to the guys that are still in the area. So that's a big thing for me. Like I said, obviously we were blessed by having the ability to go on and play at these different levels that some guys never had the opportunity to get to. So what can we do to try to open these doors for guys? What can we do to show the guys that, hey, there is hope, there is opportunity outside of the city that we live in to go and accomplish something big time and something major? Just kind of give people something to look forward to. A lot of times people feel stuck. They don't feel as though, like Kendall said, Coach Gibson said, where do I go from here? What opportunities kind of lie out there for me to take advantage of? So I just wanted it to be our responsibility to show guys that there is a bigger picture out there. There is something that you can work forward to. There is something that you can look forward to, and just kind of give guys that opportunity.
Oh, that's great. Now, one of the things that you guys didn't mention was that you guys also coach high school football here. So that's a lot of football fellas. Like, you guys literally come from high school, then transition right back into going back into football. Then as soon as y'all get down with y'all football, if we got spring, y'all got to go to spring football. So, you know what I'm saying? You guys got a life full of football. How are y'all significant others dealing with this, G?
It's one of the things that when you sign up for it, it's tough. But luckily they've been supportive through the years. The things that him and I have been involved with, the travel is very demanding, but they've been supportive of that. Sometimes realizing that we get stressed out from a game or from a practice, and hey, sometimes we need a moment to ourselves. It doesn't mean that we don't care about you. We just need a moment to kind of collect our thoughts, and they're very, very, very supportive of that. And that goes a long way because obviously, like as you said, it's a lot of back and forth, and it's almost year round. So sometimes you need a specific level of support and someone that understands how to give you that support to kind of keep you level headed too.
Definitely.
And I'll probably piggyback off that. Significant others got to be very supportive, but always when I explain like why I love football so much, I always say it's very therapeutic for me. So being around it, I function best when I'm around football. But Coach, being high school football is very demanding. 5 days a week, maybe then you got film sessions on Saturday. So football, high school football for those 10 weeks is very tough. But what helped us get over it with the semi-pro, it's 1 day a week. So like we've been with different programs, and a lot of programs like to practice Tuesdays and Thursdays, and the attendance is not always the best when you do it that day, because then you have a group of guys coming Tuesday that you might not have Thursday. So we was with an organization that did it 1 day a week, and you required it that 1 day a week, and you get a bunch of guys there and you practice for like 3-4 hours that night. But so high school football is 5 days a week practicing, but semi-pro is 1 day a week. Then you have the game, so it's not as crazy as high school. Because I feel like if it was 5 days for high school and 5 days for semi-pro, I probably couldn't do it.
Yeah, she wouldn't like
it. But just because it's 1 day for the semi-pro, for the minor league, and then the game, and then all our travel with in the league that we're in this year, all our travel kind of like in the Fort Lauderdale, Miami area. So we have technically 6 home games this year. Well, we have 6 home games, but technically 7 because it's another team in the area that we play, so we don't have to travel. Then the other 3 games that we play is in the Fort Lauderdale, Miami area, so it's an hour and a half. And then so it's not bad at all.
And then what I'm saying, y'all win. If y'all go down there, y'all got to take them ladies out. You know what I'm saying, hang out a little bit. You know what I'm saying.
That too. And another thing that helps me out in my situation is she's a part of the organization with me. So I'm putting in work and she's putting in work. So it's like that's how you do it, coach. You got to make them. You got to give them a job. So
yeah, folks. So now, so we got
I don't know.
OG. We got my dog OG back in the building. Glad to have him back. And we got Triple B on the bottom. He had a couple technical difficulties. Happy New Year's, because I guess he was out hanging and banging last night. But we're gonna welcome him back. OG, go ahead and drop that.
I didn't even know I was out of here, but I thought I was here the whole time. But anyway, talking about being supporting, the women behind the scenes and everything else. And I was gonna say, I don't know if I have the quote right, but show me a successful man, I'll show you a strong woman that stands behind them, or a support system. So at the end of the day, it's not what we do or what you guys do is everything, but the support system that goes behind the scenes that people don't see is needs to be commended.
Definitely. And then Coach Mike, I see you up there because right now you on a family trip and you sitting in the car right now on the side of the road trying to get reception. I important family with you. You already know. If you to stay here talking about something, I'm going, hey, listen, I got to do my TV show, woman. I ain't going nowhere. Dead. No possum and raccoon for you this month.
Hey, man, I'd have been sleeping on top of the roof, man. So I had to come do it, I had to come. But family is very important, man. Been down with me for the past 10 years, and I've worked in Southwest Florida, took a job in Georgia, came back to Southwest Florida, and she was like, baby, whatever you need to do, to accomplish your dream, because she understands my purpose, So family is very important, man. And to you guys, man, coaches, man, hey, I tip my hat to you guys, man. You're right. That's a lot of football. But I do have a question for you guys. How long did it take you all to put your program together? Was it like, you started last year, or was it the past couple years?
Kendall and I actually started talking about this, I think, a year or 2 ago, and we brought up the idea. It wasn't the right time, but we brought up because we still had ambitions to play. But the idea of starting our own organization came a while ago. And then there was a lot of stuff that we did in the background as far as what did we want it to look like? How did we want the team to kind of function? We kind of did a bunch of those little things in the beginning. I think we launched the team, I want to say back around May, is when we finally said, okay, we're going to go through with this. But the conversations and the talks and the thoughts about transitioning to that next phase, especially when we started coaching at high school, and then just being on the opposite side of it, those conversations started a while ago. It might have seemed like the team has only been around for 2 or 3 months, but the conversations and the planning and stuff that went into it has been at least the physical part of what we've been doing. It's been almost a year.
Wow. Nice.
Definitely. Now, so you guys have a game coming up. What kind of support are you guys looking from, from the community? Because I was talking to you earlier, Coach Gibson, and you said you guys have a lot of sponsors and stuff. Where can they come if they see your dream, passion, vision, where can they go sponsor you guys at? You know what I'm saying? Where can we follow the highlights, stats, you know what I'm saying? Find out who's all involved with this program, the players and stuff like that.
Well, I'll let Coach Briscoe speak on that. He real good at all that stuff, and he organized the websites and stuff like that. So I'll let him talk about it.
Yeah,
Okay.
on our website, S.W.F.L Jags.com, we're going to have that's where all of our information is going to be for our games. Obviously, on social media, our Facebook page is a big piece for where we're going to post a lot of stuff, pictures, videos, highlights, game scores. But again, our games are going to be at Billy Bowlegs Park. February 6th is going to be our home game that kicks off our season. That's a Saturday. But then as far as, people that want to get involved, other organizations that may want to support or partner with us, they can go right to our website, SWFLJags.com, and connect with us there. We'll be able to post our roster. We'll be able to post stats and everything that you want to be able to find out about the team, just so you can stay involved. Even if you don't live in the area and you just want to track us and see what's going on, it will be on our website at SWFLJags.com or on our Facebook page.
Okay, nice. Listen, so first of all, we're gonna shout out to our sponsors. Shout out to Power Police Athletic League for sponsoring the We Are 239 game. We also want to shout out Taja Renee, Cosmetic Collections, Pretty One Press, all your apparel needs that you need. And then we also have Platinum Image Barbershop, get you cut fresh right there on the spot. Now, the hot topic, you guys, listen, man, thank you guys for coming on. I'm sure you might want to stay a part of this because we got a state emergency right now. We definitely got a state emergency, and it ain't looking good. Triple B, your Miami Hurricanes, and OG, y'all Miami Hurricanes, y'all, that chain, we've been in the toilet, but we ain't even get thought about. FSU might be going into Division 3 after this year in Florida. Our last hope. Triple B, what's up?
I mean, who do you want to go first?
I'm gonna let Triple B go first since he's late,
Hey,
and then
listen. It's
he got it. Whoa. Sarcasm. Check. This dude comes with the classic shirts.
Hey, check this out. Just like you had Hold
on. Did you have a New Year's party last year?
Huh?
Was you at a New Year's party last night?
No. No. But anyways, it's just like it's one of those things, man. You had Death Row run it for had West Coast hip hop. You had Snoop Dogg and all this type of stuff. And then all of a sudden you had New York had its reign, and then the South had its reign, and it goes back and forth. Now you have a whole bunch of Death Rows, and you have a whole bunch of Bad Boy. I mean, it's what
are you talking about?
It's just different.
He talking
Where
about
you going
Death Row
with
with
that?
No, you remember it used to be the state of Miami, and now it's not the state of Miami anymore. You feel me? You remember everything in hip hop it used to be Death Row, and now you got 100 Death Rows, and that's what I'm saying is
Johnson, we lost right now, Johnson. We are so lost right now.
No. What I'm saying is we got it like Miami's not the only program like it used. Like everybody's using that model. Recruit. For instance, Florida State was a little behind Miami, and they caught up, and then Florida got caught up. Then everybody just started catching up. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not really a state of emergency. It's just the talent pool is diluted. Now everybody and their mama, if you look at the top people on people's rosters out of state, who are they? They're Miami people or they're Florida people. So it's just the cycle. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I got you. OG, triple OG. So basically you're saying that, all right, we're gonna answer Kenny Woodfall questions real quick. He say, and other things is a lot of players are also youth coaches as well. Speak on that, brother. Drop that comment. I'm a little lost on that one right there. When you say another thing is a lot of players are youth coaches as well.
I think he's talking about our organization. A lot of guys that play for us as well. Like they coach at the Pop Warner level. So a lot of our
Okay,
players
okay. Oh, that's what's up.
work.
That's hey, listen, and that's how we build a community. In other words, other programs have that wave. Okay, so all right, but we get it. So yeah, I'm rocking with you, Ken, on that one right there, man. And okay, as far as semi-pro guys, all right. So
Yep.
is Coach Weird out there with y'all?
No, sir, he's not.
Okay. So, but OG, we gonna go ahead and let you get into this state of emergency, so we can, cause your hurricanes
I
on same pole as.
I mean, you guys want to call it a state of emergency, and Johnson wants to compare it to Suge Knight. You know, I don't. It's really not a state of emergency. The Gators went. I mean, how many losses they had this year? Two.
Want me to tell you why it's a state of emergency though? This is why it's a state of
Wait,
emergency.
come on, no. Hey, wait.
Go ahead.
No, come on. All right, they got blown out. Hey, Miami got blown out.
No, it ain't that they got blown out. It's just not the championship is not coming through Florida.
Come on.
That's what this topic
How
is
many
about.
losses Miami had this year?
We're not talking about losses and wins. We're talking about the state championship is not coming through state of Florida no more. When has the last time the state champion, the national championship has came through the state of Florida? I don't care about how many wins and losses because, like Prime said, back in the day, you only have you get one loss, you ain't up for no national championship. So now you talking about 1 and 2 losses. Y'all are not even mentioned in like Miami, Florida, or Florida State are not even mentioned for the top 4 this year. That's what we talking about. That's the state of emergency.
All right, state of emergency sounds to me like 5, 6 losses. We're not even nobody's even in the mix all season. But
That makes sense.
They're right there. Florida State's not right there. They're not even close. Miami, Florida, they have a lot going on. They have recruits coming in. They have things going on. They have things popping off that's happened in the last couple of years that's been exciting. State of emergency, I wouldn't call it that. Falling off to what Florida expects, what the state expects, what football fans expect here, we hold Florida and all our schools to a high expectation. You go to Iowa or Illinois or Georgia or anything else, they would love to have the season that the Gators and the Hurricanes just had. So I wouldn't call it a state of emergency. Do we need to fix some things? Yeah, of course.
Hey,
But
let me say
I
something
think
real
at the
quick.
end of
I'm sorry, mine's is lagging. Let me say something real quick. I think anybody that would say that, like, those 3 powerhouse teams, in the state of Florida, is like struggling or something like that, is being very disingenuous. I mean, like if you have two, I mean, maybe the standard has been set so high that it's unrealistic. Imagine if Ohio State had another powerhouse in the state of Ohio to really compete with, which they don't really have one. If you think about it, Michigan or all those other states, like, Alabama, how many times is Alabama and Auburn relevant at the same time? If they are relevant, how many wins does one have? Usually one of them is, if Alabama's up, usually Auburn is down. Like, sometimes they're together, but that's very rarely. Georgia, who they really have to compete with. Let's let Coach Patterson talk about that. If Georgia is
they got Georgia Tech, man.
Oh, come on, man.
And they got Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern beat Florida.
You mean garbage Tech? Come on, get out of here, man. Stop playing with me, man. Don't play with us. That's garbage Tech.
Hey, one thing I will say
Right.
about
Georgia, as far as like recruits, in Atlanta, you also have to deal with Clemson. You have to deal with South Carolina, Tennessee, Alabama, so a lot of those schools come in. But what Georgia has done a great job of, they've kept most of the great players home, except at quarterback. We let 3 good quarterbacks get out of state: Cam Newton, Deshaun Watson, Trevor Lawrence. Oh, I forgot about Justin Fields, But other than quarterback, Georgia has kept most of the great players home. And when I did a little research on this, the state of Florida, they're not keeping them home anymore. So back in the early 2000s, if you go look at the top 25 5-star, 4-star list, 90% of those players stay home. Now, only 11 out of 25 are staying home. And then Georgia, Clemson, Alabama, they coming in getting 11 to 15 on their own. So I think that's probably the biggest difference I've seen. Those great players, they're not staying home anymore.
Right. Now, Coach Bronson, go ahead. You had something?
No, I was going to say, I think that we see it even like in the NFL, for example. We always say, as great as Peyton Manning was, he would have won more had he not played around the same time as Tom Brady. And I think that same thing can be said for Florida. Would Florida win more had they not played against the powerhouse of the past decade in Bama? It's tough. When Bama's considered, hands down the best team in the SEC, probably the best team in the nation. And then you look at what Georgia brings to the table as well. It's a very competitive conference. Trevor Lawrence and those boys have been hot for years, and they transitioned to him directly from Deshaun Watson. It makes it hard for Florida State to kind of come in and kind of take over that conference. We have two, what seemed like in college, transcendent talents at the quarterback position. So a lot of it has to do with matchups as well. I think, like he said, the recruiting is a big part of it. But sometimes you got to tip your hat to those programs, like I said, the Alabamas, who year over year they recruit well, they coach well, they have some of the best talent. They're pulling out a 5-star player and replacing him with another 5-star athlete. That doesn't happen at a lot of these other organizations. So it does make it difficult for a lot of those Florida schools to stay competitive at the top year over year.
Well, so when, OG, we're going to go back to your, situation. Like when I said state of emergency, what I meant by that, and the reason why I made that topic was, it's simply that we're letting too much of our talent get out of the state of Florida. Point period blank. That's the state of emergency. We're not doing a great job of recruiting here in the state of Florida, because you think about it. Every time you go and you see a team like Alabama, I guarantee you, like I went and looked at their roster, they got 19 kids from Florida on them. You know what I'm saying? And go ahead, OG.
Listen, no, I didn't mean it but pulling our kids out, from Florida, and the issue is that our Florida schools aren't bringing us back. Miami, Florida, these coaches aren't bringing their alumni back in to help out these programs and recruit these kids back in and keep the tradition there. We get coaches that come from other schools and everywhere else that come into the state of Florida, and they're going to run the show the way they want to do it, and they leave tradition and legacies out. As far as I'm gonna use Miami out. Ray Lewis isn't around. They just brought Ed Reed back, but they don't. Brian McKinney's not around. Jonathan Vilman, the guys don't want to. Alabama brings back their alumni and they use them as support and as guidance and not so much as coaches, but they bring those guys back and make them part of the program. Whereas I feel like a lot of our Florida schools are isolating the alumni, which makes it harder.
Gotcha. So now, back to my topic of, why I said that you get that and just break that down to, even from the youth level, like when you go to high schools and stuff like that, you don't have these high school coaches getting out there and looking at the talent. Think about this right here. Florida State, I'm a Florida State fan. I'm going to take that and I'm going to wear that. We got a lot of 5-4-star recruits. They're not panning out. They're not working out. You feel what I'm saying? And a lot of these kids are from out of state. You feel what I'm saying? And I feel like, it's the same thing with me being a coach here in Southwest Florida, that as a coach, you got to get out and get on the ground and find out, all these kids, because there's no reason why a guy like Sammy Watkins should have made it out of the state of Florida. Jared Jewett should have made it out of the state. Like these guys, these people, like you don't let out of the state of Florida, period. You know what I'm saying? You got 3 schools to pick from, and I get some kids love different places, but do your job. Because I ain't gonna tell you no lie. I
Hey,
remember that year.
Andrew, but
Sammy was. Go ahead.
let's keep it 1,000, man. It's technology too. You know, hey, it's not. It's like it used to be a big thing when to have Nick Saban come in and meet your parents and all this type of stuff. But they're sending his representatives, and it's easy access. Players are easy to find now. Like the talent, the top talent, it used to be a little bit difficult to find. It used to be a difficult to find, like a Ray Lewis or whatever. And plus, and then one thing that you talked about is these 5-star, 3-star things. Let's throw that out the window because we already know what that is. That's just a bunch of that is how many marketing dollars you have. So let's just like that pumped up 5-star stuff is crap. Because if that was the case, why is Florida State so horrible right now? Because they had Cam Makers, they had all those 5-star, 6-star. I mean, at one time they had like 3 5-star running backs on their roster. So that doesn't mean nothing. It doesn't mean nothing. The thing about it is people are easy to find now. They're easy to find in California. They're easy to find in Texas. Before you had to travel, but with the internet, you can be in somebody's living room talking to them and wooing them on Twitter or sending them text messages. It used to be letters, but now it's just so much access, and people have so many different opportunities. Of course, things are going to change. We're not going to keep all our in-home talent. And then the other thing is people are jumping ship like whatever. You can stack a team if you wanted to now. If you have the right marketing resources, right recruiters, the talent the transfer portal. Look, Ohio State. Why are they in the national championship right now? Look who's their quarterback and where did he come from? Come on, man. It's a different game.
Yeah, you're right.
Hey, now
Kenny Wicks.
let me ask you guys this. Let me ask you guys this. Do you
Coach,
think it's also the pressure of living up to those expectations, to tradition? Do you think that's why some of the kids are leaving?
No. No.
So we got a question right here.
I do think there's a lot of that. I do think there's a lot of that. It's like, all right, why sit on Miami's roster being on special team for 2 years when you can go to FIU and be a starter, and and be a starter? Why do that?
Coach Gibson, you have something?
Why, if I'm
I was gonna say, I think
say, hey, you're 5.
I was gonna say, I think OG hit the nail on the head, man. I think a lot of times it's about bringing back the alumni, and that's probably a topic for a whole different day. But I feel like even it's crucial even at our high school levels. Like I don't think the schools are welcoming to the alumni, and I feel like that's a big part of it. I just feel like you look at the big schools like Naples and guys like Miami Central. I know I played arena ball with Tommy Schuler, and he won a state title with Central. Now he's a coach over there. Like it's like a family. They make it family oriented, and I just feel like when you bring back the alumni and you make it feel like a home. Like I just feel like you make the kids stay. The kids will stay, and it's like a family atmosphere. So I think OG hit the nail on the head, man. It's just like, Alabama has that homey feeling. Like they welcome their brothers back, and even you see it at the high school level, man. It's tough. Sometimes it's tough getting back into the schools, man. Like just because I don't know why. I don't know why, but it's just they don't welcome alumni back like they should. They don't go out and get them like they should, and I just feel like that's crucial. Like because you with the players there. You make it feel like I can be that guy, I can be that person, and they'll listen to guys where they're from. You know what I mean? If I'm from an area, guys probably gonna listen to me. If I went to this school and I use this weight room, and they're gonna probably listen to me. But I don't know. That's my opinion. I agree with OG on that. That's a huge thing in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think I'm scared of tradition pressure of other footsteps. I don't think they get taught or they get explained to what you used to be or Florida State used to be, what it used to be a Gator. You know, they don't understand. Sometimes I think we get older and we forget that they didn't see what we saw. They didn't see Tiger Irvin. They didn't see the you get off the bus and the camo.
Right.
They didn't see Danny Warfel and Ike Hilliard and all that. You know, so they don't get. They're not running from tradition, but they don't feel the love and the
Right.
in Florida. They get that from somewhere.
Right.
All right, we're gonna answer a couple of these questions. And then we're
I'm
gonna,
about to blow up this conversation.
hold on, Johnson. Hold on, Johnson. We're gonna answer a couple of these questions. So Kenny Weirdfall said, "Thank you, Fort Myers at a university, and if these kids can go there because of the safety issues, kids would be told to leave so they won't be in the crime-invested cities." So it's like that in Dade. So basically saying, you know, because Dade is very high in crime, you know, and they used to that pressure and stuff like that, you know, parents are telling these kids to get out. And yeah, I like that. You know what I'm saying? And then we got a question from a comment from Howard Allen. The ability to coach kids up is lacking with a number of coaches. All Power 5 schools are getting 4 and 5-star players, but only a few are able to coach the players up, right? Because you see, like Willie Taggart, for instance, you know, y'all know he's gonna be the number one like kind of recruiting guy. It seems like when he was up there, it just didn't work. Like he had a pool full of talent, but he couldn't pull from it. Johnson, you had something to say, my G. I'm gonna go ahead and let you get on.
Yeah, I had something to say because you know what, like it's the pie in the sky thing about like letting all these alumni come through is great, but it's not. I mean, it's not realistic anymore. First of all, you have like a lot of these alumni don't have relationships with these coaching staffers. Like, but if you have somebody like Nick Saban that's been around for 15 years,
that's a problem.
Built relationships and consistency. But if you have like someone like Miami, it's not. And plus, you got all these alumni like Ray Lewis. I mean, whatever. I'm just using Miami as an example. You know, you was like, how you're going to be a critic of me on Twitter, roasting my program that I used to play for, and then all of a sudden you want to go sit on the sidelines. And the thing about it, too, a lot of these alumni, let's keep it real, they don't want to come around. You know why? Because guess what an administration is going to ask them to do? Open up that wallet, make that donation. You want to sit on our sideline and act like you're part of the program, you need to go ahead and cut the check, right? So it's not so easy. Like now where you have some programs that have some structure, you know, where you can have that stuff, you know, you have a relationship, you know, like Michael Irvin has a son on the team and he's not playing. Guess what? He's on Twitter or these shows criticizing Manny Diaz. Like, how's that work? I mean, what I'm saying is let's be realistic about things. Like having alumni and like, you know, representing and everybody and all this type of stuff, man, that's really hard to do because these guys have egos. These guys have money. You know,
players that say something about Manny Diaz, because ain't nobody from Alabama doing that to Nick Saban. Who's that saying?
Right, because they have relationships. They have relationships with each other. That's what I'm saying. Consistency. Like over the last 10 years, how many coaching staffs has Miami had? How many coaching staffs has Clemson has? Like Clemson has been consistent. You know what I'm saying? So they can bring in their alumni. They have all those resources. You know how many ex-Clemson players are on Twitter or on these NFL shows or on these shows criticizing Dabo Swinney? None. Probably none. You know, or Nick Saban. Because if you do that, you're gonna have to pay the piper. That's what I said.
So what's the problem? The coach or the tradition or the program is not the alumni, you know, and the support behind the scenes. That doesn't happen at those programs because of the family atmosphere and the way they build their programs. They don't have that because, you know, the support of the school and the faculty and the staff and, you know, everything else. There's a reason why You don't hear from that from Clemson and Alabama and other schools and Notre Dame and things of that nature. Because they don't feel
Right.
because that alumni is welcome back. That alumni welcome back into the door and made felt a part of the program still to this day. 5, 10, 15, where it's not the case at Miami, especially, but Florida State and Florida, yeah. So you just made my point for me, Johnson. So
Yeah, both of y'all guys basically just said the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And I do agree with it because it's if you don't like.
No, I think it's a little bit different. It's Miami. I don't know if it's just the names that are coming out of Miami, but like most of the Miami alumni are a little bit more vocal, and they're a little bit and they're in media, like Warren Sapp, Michael Irvin, all those type of things. So those guys are not easily controlled. What I'm saying is if you think about the alumni really coming out of like those other programs like Alabama, do you name them? You can't really name them. Like in media, can you?
So who would you say was the best
Miami guys?
Who would you say the best player that came out of Alabama?
Ever?
All time. Ever.
I mean, I like that popped in my head, but I don't want to. I'm let somebody else go first.
Oh, you gonna?
Right now, I would probably say, my vote would probably be Derrick Henry.
Who?
He's about to 2,000 yards for the second time. So more than likely he's gonna go to the Hall of Fame. If he keep on this pace.
Coach, you said Derrick Henry?
Derrick Henry.
So are you talking about the one? No, the running back there, Najee Harris. The running back right now, right?
Oh no! You said of all time that came out. Well, you talking about the deal right now?
Okay, yeah.
No, I'm just saying the run. Derrick. Okay, you going with him? Who you going with? Coach Gibson.
As far as
who
what?
Mike is that?
I don't.
Best player of all time.
Man, I'm staying out of that one.
Brock, you gonna stay out of it?
I'm stay out of that one.
All right, hey, Dog.
I'll make it very easy. Name one Hall of Famer that's in the media.
They ain't got
Forrest
one.
Gump. Forrest Gump, the best Alabama player to ever play football. Best believe it. Every time he touched the ball, he hit there. All 4 years, he made it to the White House.
Donnie,
you know what? Here's the thing. That's what makes Miami and the swag that they have is that they are vocal and they do say things. That's the swagger that made them who they are. So for you to ask them to stop being vocal, no, that's what the U was and what it's supposed to be and what made them good. So if you try to shut that down, you're going to get what you got now. Average.
Shout out to
Andrew.
What's up? Yes, hold on real quick. Let me answer this question from Frat. Stars are countless. Miami used to take kids with that where, you know what I'm saying? I guess they ain't hungry no more. You know what I'm saying? They taking kids all over stars and, you know what I'm saying? Not the ones that's hungry. Johnson, what you got for me?
Andrew, you're a coach. Coach Patterson, you're a coach. If you had a former player that said, Andrew don't know what the heck he's talking about, he calls terrible plays. But how many times are you calling that kid to invite him on the sideline to rally up the troops for you? Let's talk about that.
The funny thing is, if you want to get into that, you might as well kick the parents out. You might as well kick the refs out. You might as well don't bring some of the administration back. You might as well bring some of your coaching staff. Bro, listen, you can't get into that. And if you really want to build a program, you got to be bigger than that situation there, because everybody's not gonna like you. And 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have more haters than you're gonna have people that love you. And you just deal with it, because at the end of the day, your program is your mission statement and what you build yourself on. And if you sit up here and you don't allow people like that to come be a part of the program, How you gonna sit up here and show them different? You want to talk trash about me? You tell me I can't coach? All right, come watch this performance and tell me. You keep on criticizing what I'm doing, but if I keep winning, who cares? You feel me? Because at the end of the day, when good press, bad press is always good press. Because you know what I'm saying. Now you got Warren Sapp talking bad about the youth, but if he on the sideline, you feel me? All attention, his Twitter, his Instagram, all that is gonna be geared towards the youth. So now that's in them kids' head. So you know what I'm saying? You can't. I wouldn't go against the naysayers because if I did, it wouldn't probably be a lot of people in the stands. Go ahead, Coach Mike.
Well, you know, everybody got to be on one accord, man. If you look at these programs, like everybody's on one accord. You know, I'm where I'm from is about 30 minutes north of Tallahassee. Back when Bobby Bowden was at FSU, he controlled everything, man. So everything ran through him, and nobody tried to jump ahead of him. You know, nobody tried to be out in front of him. You know, they just let everything run through Bobby. And I think with these programs, everybody, you know, same as in high school football. Everybody want to do their different thing. You know, everybody wanted to run their way, and you're just not getting the production that used to be put onto the field.
Right. And Coach Wiggs say Joe Namath. How do we not know about Joe Namath? Oh, yeah. Nice one, Coach Wiggs. Yes, sir.
Hey, that was before my time, man.
Oh,
Yeah, Joe Namath got real drunk on TV. He didn't see him no more.
When he smoking cigarettes on the sideline, of the college football game.
Nah.
Hey, Joe Namath is a classic though. Listen, that was one tough dude, man. You go back and you watch the man.
Coach, fur coach, and you know.
Yes, he was the Ric Flair football.
Hey, Coach, I got something else.
Go ahead, Doc.
Man, I think it's probably not a popular. Nobody want to talk about it, but I think another issue that runs into these programs, especially in Florida, we speaking about Florida. I think it takes time to build programs. Like, you know, everybody want to win right now, but they never like. I don't know. I think sometimes you gotta give them time, and I know, you know, when you get the athletes, because you know sometimes I argue. Well, FSU is some teams you shouldn't lose to. Miami is some teams you shouldn't lose to. Florida is some teams you shouldn't lose to. But at the same time, it takes some time to have guys buy into the program. And then, you know, guys have 2 or 3 bad seasons. We want them out because they can't coach. But I don't think that's fair. I think it takes time to build programs. And we always want to, you know, that goes back to what Coach was saying, you know, especially with, you know, we bringing up Miami. But, you know, it's always been a turnaround rate. So you can't bring in alumni. But that's part of the problem. We're not giving these guys enough time, in my opinion, to put something together. You know, sometimes I feel like it do take some time. And you know, you look at, you know, Bama, you look at a lot of these other programs, you know, they've had time, you know, put something together. Now, Bama is like a machine. It's a system. Like now, no matter what happens, as long as Saban's there, you know what you're going to expect from him just because he's had time to do it. You know, it's hard to get the alumni to come back, like Coach was saying. Well, like, you know, like he was saying, you know, to come back if I wasn't there with that coach, you know, and that's part of the problem too. So I think, you know, some unpopular opinion, but I think it's some time is needed to build these programs, man.
No, I think Kendall hit that right in the head, and I almost wanted to use, and Johnson can relate to this. I wanted to actually use. What are you saying, Drew?
He muted.
You muted. We can't hear you, Coach.
He muted, Coach.
Someone needs to text him.
Still muted.
We can't hear you. We can't hear you, Coach.
Y'all hear me? My bad. Y'all hear me? All right.
Yeah.
Tower has Alabama systems over individuals. You know, you let the haters go. Alabama say no lie. You can't, because if you let them sneak in, bro, listen, you're gonna stress yourself out. Needed more time at FSU, definitely. But you ain't got more time when you're in this business, man. They big dollars. You gotta be now.
Yeah. Hey, you said the key word, business. This is turned into a business. Yeah. It doesn't like any business that you run, you're gonna bleed in the red at the beginning. You're gonna bleed in the red at the beginning, but if you have fan bases that are unrealistic, soon as you bleed red, they're like, you know what? Let's go bankrupt. Let's go bankrupt. Let's get a new CEO. Let's start over. You can't do that. And that's the thing. It's just like you cannot do that. If this college football now is a business, and businesses are not run that way. You know, you have to invest in your business to make it successful. And there are going to be early parts of the year. I mean, early parts of the business that you're going to bleed. You're going to bleed red. You're going to be in the red. And then all of a sudden you're going to make it in the black, and then you're going to have a well-oiled machine. But to be realistic with how it is usually like a 5-year plan. You know, you might catch fire like Florida with Dan Mullen, but that's very rare. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen overnight like that. And I think until the fan base is really having a realistic expectation, it's crazy. Like, you remember Michigan used to be a powerhouse because they had, you know, Lloyd Carr, and they had Bo Schembechler for the longest building that business. It was a well-oiled machine. They came in there and they made a wholesale change with it. They brought in, was it Rich Rodriguez, with a completely different system, because he was in West Virginia, you know, having, you know, major success. And look what happened to him. They almost never have recovered. They've almost never have recovered because they went from one business model all the way to a different business model, thinking that they were gonna that they were gonna still be successful. And it's not realistic.
Right. OG, you had
Right,
something?
you know,
Go ahead, OG.
you know, you can throw Nebraska in that as well.
Oh, okay. OG.
No, I was just saying, locally, if you guys want, you know, you want to bring examples locally in high school area, you know, one of the most successful programs that's still successful to this day is Fort Myers High School.
Right.
And what do they lean on? Tradition, consistency, and the same old values they've been doing for 30, 40 years, you know? And you can find some flaws in the way they do things and run things over there, and you can have your opinions, this and the other thing, but at the end of the day, they've been successful every year. And same thing over at Naples, Johnson. And
I was just about to say that.
What do both of them have in common?
Yeah.
Consistency with staff and program support.
Straight up.
You know, so and tradition
Consistency at every level. I mean, at the top. You know, if you look at New England Patriots, they had consistency for the last 20 years. They had the same quarterback and the same head coach for the last 20 years. It's in the same program, pretty much. And you just don't really see that, even at the pro level. You don't even see like somebody executing a 5-year plan. Guess what? Like Willie Taggart just got fired after 2 years, replacing, you know, de facto. I mean, because, you know, Jimbo Fisher was pretty much, you know, the head man there for the longest under Bobby Bowden. But they expected him to come in with a new system and have success right away. It's unrealistic. It's just unrealistic coming off a national championship. You just can't have that. That's just not a realistic expectation. And I don't know if it's just in the water with Florida people, but we just have to understand it's just not that easy. You can't do that. And if you look at even our other programs in Florida, you know, you had like Bill Musgrave, who was the other guy that came in there, and then everybody had those expectations, which, you know, without 5 or 6 years of consistent coaching and everything like that, you can't really get that. And people don't make it out of year 3. So what do you do?
I think that's
I appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. Right now, we've been on here. It's time to wrap it up. If you tuned in, man, make sure you like, subscribe, and follow us on all our social media platforms, Big Dream Sports TV. If you're looking to sponsor, you know what I'm saying, go to www.bigdreamsnetwork.com. Once again, thank you all for tuning in. And if you have any topics, comments, you want to be on the show, man, DM Big Dream Sports TV. Let us know, man. We're going to keep this thing rock and rolling. Once again, thank you, fellas, for tuning in. Big Dreams, we out. Hey, shout out to you coaches, man. Good luck on the season. Make sure Big Dreams know when them home games is so we can be out there to support, fellas.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate the opportunity having us on here.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I'll see you at the gym later, OG.